Hey guys, so today we are at Pacific Point here in Jaco. This is Jaco beachfront land. So this is the famous Jaco beach. A lot of people like to come here for surfing. They just come to this town for the tourism. But this development behind me, this is going to be 13 levels high. It's a big project. You don't see too many of these in Jaco, at least in the last 7 years or so that I've been coming here. But there's a lot more happening recently. This one's a little bit different to the others in that the location is about as good as it can get. You've got no one in front of you. You've got perfect views of that famous beach. It's a big project. It's a big, ambitious project. So we're going to go inside. I'm going to show you around. I'm going to introduce you to the real estate agent who's representing this place. They're going to tell us a little bit more about it. This is something you might consider if you're looking to move to Costa Rica, or maybe you just want to purchase some international real estate and invest and get a return. So we'll talk about the numbers. I'll show you some different options available. Let's go take a look. Now, since this is a new project, I'm not too familiar with it. I found the agent who represents it. He's going to introduce himself, and then we're going to go with him, and he's going to show us some of the options available.
My name is Sean Fletcher, and I'm with Remax Oceanside here at Jaco Beach, and we're the exclusive representation of this building here at the Pacific Point. That is 91 units right in the center of Jaco Beach. There's 8 remaining units out of 91, and the remaining units that we have are studios and 3-bedroom units that have fantastic views. And if you're looking for a 2-bedroom, I can keep you updated if one comes back on the market.
This is titled beachfront, so you would own it forever, right?
That's correct. There's only about 10% of the beach in Costa Rica that's fully titled within 200 meters of the ocean, and all of Jaco Beach is fully titled, so these units all have fee simple, fully titled ownership. We sold 82 units out of 91.
These ones that have the beachfront view, how many of those are left, or they're all gone?
Unfortunately, all the oceanfront units have been sold, but there are great units that have views to the side, which we can go and see the views in a second. This area is going to be co-working space, so the digital nomads all have their desks and their air conditioning places, and they also have a conference room where they can have meetings here. So this will be glassed in with a conference table.
So this would be the check-in. So you're saying these people can list the apartments on Airbnb?
Yeah. They really set this up to be a rental property where the 2 and the 3-bedroom units have a lock-off feature. So you'll see in a second where they have 2 separate front door entrances, and you can lock them off in the middle and rent it out as 2 separate units.
And let's say you're overseas and you want someone else to manage it. How would they go about doing that?
There's about several dozen property managers in Jaco that we can set you up with, and they can rent your property for you. Or if you're willing and able to rent the property on your own, then we can have people that are just overseeing your property, and then you can do the physical bookings yourself. The property managers here take anywhere between 25 and 35% of the rental income, and that's where full service property management, where they're booking the rentals, they're scheduling the cleaning, they're taking care of any maintenance issues, basically full service.
So this would be a 1-bedroom?
No, this is actually a 2-bedroom. It's a lock-off unit, so it's a 2-2. That you could it has 2 separate front door entrances, so you can rent them out independently.
Yep.
I'm showing you the windows because they're double pane, UV filter. They're really high-end windows here.
Oh, it's too thick.
It's got double pane with a UV filter on it.
Wow. Nice. So even from the side, you'd have a little bit of an ocean view here. What would something like this sell for right now?
Unfortunately, we don't have any 2-bedrooms for sale right now. We only have studios and 3-bedrooms. The studios start at $175, and the 3-bedrooms start at $475. So these are all quartz countertops, and they do come with all appliances and air conditioner units.
Now the aircon, that's going to be central aircon throughout the whole thing.
So they're actually mini splits. So each room will have its own individual mini split. So you can see the pool will be, it'll be a semi-Olympic lap lane size pool.
Down here.
Yep. As we mentioned, there's not much fully titled land in Costa Rica. And so that's why, since Jaco is fully titled from end to end, you have a lot of these big developments here. So really multicultural town. And so you have folks from Europe, from all over Central and South America, and of course, North America, which creates great community. We have fantastic restaurants with chefs from around the world. And there's a lot to do in Jaco. That's what really drives people here, is the amount of amenities, not just the restaurants, but the pubs, the markets, just a lot of things to do, a lot of outdoor activities as well. I'm a surfer myself. That's what originally drew me here. And so you can find me often surfing right out here in front of the building. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and it's one of those lock-off units where you can rent it out as 2 separate units if you wanted to. The oceanfront ones are all sold out. We might have some resales come back on the market, which I can keep you updated on, but right now they're all spoken for. This one's just under 1,500 square feet. It would probably go in right around 500,000. We have different rates for the high season and the low season, but between Christmas and Easter, which is our high season, you could charge upwards of $500, maybe even $600 a night. During the low season, that's going to come down quite substantially to maybe a $350 type per night rental. I own some other rentals in Jaco, and I've seen that I get a little over 70% occupancy on the year, but obviously that's weighted heavier towards the high season. I get almost 90% occupancy in that high season between Christmas and Easter, and the rest of the year I might be at like 55-60%.
This would be a bedroom?
Yes, and there could potentially have a double door here so you can lock it off, and then there's a separate entrance that goes out to the hallway there. So if you wanted to rent it out as 2 separate units, you could rent this out like a hotel room with a little efficiency kitchen, a half refrigerator, a microwave, and a coffee pot.
Okay, so a bedroom here, and then out through here is what?
This is the hallway that goes down to, this is one of 3 elevators right here.
Here?
Yep, that goes down to the ground level where the gym and the co-working space are. Yep. And that's the parking structure would be at the end of the hallway over there.
So this would be the public hallway. This is not the front door, or is the front
This is the front door to the lock-off. And then if we come this way, this would be the front door to the main unit where the kitchen, living room.
What's this then?
That's another unit. So this is a 2-bedroom unit here.
That's another one. Okay,
Correct.
So this unit, this would be your front door. You would walk in. This would be your main kind of living space. Or you'd have a bed in here.
No, so this is the living area. This is the kitchen along this wall.
Kitchen.
And then this would be the master bedroom that has a little walk-in closet. This is the bathroom that one of my favorite features is taking a shower with the ocean view in there. And then this would be the master bedroom where you've got the bed here. This will all be glass wall, and then you've got sliders that open up out to the balcony.
Okay, so there's your 2 bedrooms. So this would be your balcony. You'd walk out here.
But this is a 3-bedroom. This is one of the one that's available for $475. So even though it's on the side of the building, it has a pretty good view.
So $475,000 for this one.
Correct. Yeah.
And how many bedrooms?
This is a 3-bed, 3.5 bath. 3-bed, 3-bath, and it's about 1,500 total square feet.
1,500 square feet. Wow. Okay, so you've got a really nice undisturbed view of that beach.
When you buy property in Costa Rica, there's always closing costs that amount to roughly 4%. So you have to factor that on top. And they come with appliances and air conditioner, but you have to furnish it yourself. So that would be an additional cost as well. You would have to pay 25% of the purchase price now, 5% in January when they build the roof structure on the building. And then at the delivery, you'd have to pay the 70%, or at that time, the developer will actually finance that 70% if you wanted to. It's a 9% interest rate, and that is amortized over 30 years, but there's a balloon payment in 7 years. So the balance would be called due in 7 years. There's also a 1.5% origination fee for the loan amount. It'll be done in the middle of 2024. And right now we are in the 9th floor studio. And even though we're on the side of the building, you can see that it's got quite a spectacular view. This side faces where the sunset would be most of the year. And this unit is $225,000. You're standing on the balcony right now. This will be sliding windows. This will be fixed window. You'll have a bed on this side and then the kitchen wrapping around the back there. My guess would be in the low season, you could probably charge about $170 a night. In the high season, maybe $200.
About $200 per night.
Yeah. Okay.
You ever surf down here?
Oh yeah, I've been surfing out here for 19 years and I surf right out in front of here.
What is the best month for Costa Rica in terms of rentals? If someone's putting it on Airbnb, when can they expect it to be above 90% occupancy here?
We're definitely weighted towards our high season, and that usually kicks in about mid-December. And so from Christmas to Easter is when we have our highest occupancy, and that's when we can all raise our rates, and we're all doing pretty well during that time. The great thing about Jaco is its proximity to San Jose, so you have a lot of Costa Ricans that are also renting it out, whether they're families or couples just escaping for the weekend. But since you have studios to 3 bedrooms here, you're gonna have couples, single travelers on up to families.
So we were just talking about the quality of the construction here. So they haven't used concrete blocks. This is all poured concrete. So you can see all the steel it's been reinforced by. And tell us a little bit about here in Costa Rica, we do get the occasional earthquake, although I've only felt one in the last 5+ years. So they're quite rare, but tell us a little bit about the building code around here.
Yeah, so Costa Rica has basically taken the seismic codes from Japan and California and meshed them together. And so they have really stringent anti-seismic codes. So these buildings are rock solid. They're not going anywhere in an earthquake. On the side of the building here, so these 4 commercial locales, they're actually for sale.
Okay.
And so they'll be street side here, and we're looking for buyers for them. The developer wants to sell them to businesses that'll add value to the project. So things like coffee shop, ice cream, convenience store, something that complements it. What they don't want is a bar that's playing music till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
I did some calculations, and there's definitely a good room for investment in there. A similar locale like this right around the corner is renting for about $2,000 a month. And so you can make easily an 8% plus return with these locales here that are for sale.
So someone could buy just one of these locales. They don't want to run a business, but they can just rent it out to a business.
That's correct. Yeah, it'd be much easier than doing the short-term rental vacation thing. They're about 700 square feet. They start at 175,000 on up to 245,000. It turns out to about at least an 8% return. That's after all expenses.
So what we're going to do now is I'm going to drive through the town of Jaco and show you some of the different restaurants, cafes, what you've got within walking distance here at Pacific Point. Let's go take a look. So this is your beach right here in front of Pacific Point. So you would turn down this street. Now they're actually going to be putting in a roundabout here. And the agent was telling me that they're going to be doing a lot of work on this street. So the owner owns this land directly across the street from Pacific Point. So this street will be getting really beautified. It'll be a lot nicer than it currently is right now. Right now it's a little bit, don't want to say trashy, but it's not the nicest street, at night. But this will all be getting cleaned up. So you would walk down this street, and at the end of this street, you have Bahia coffee, really good coffee. My favorite coffee to come to when I'm in Jaco. That's what I mean when I say it's all within walking distance. So Bahia coffee on the left. Here on the right, you have a lot of tourist shops. This street is the main street of Jaco. You've got a good restaurant in there. You've got a convenience store just up here. Bars, clubs, all of that around here. So at night, this place really comes alive. Pop's Ice Cream over here. El Lagar, that is a hardware store. So you've got that close by. Mas Menos up here. This is, it's like a big convenience store, shopping center. It's owned by Walmart. So little cafes in here. It's very quiet right now just because of the season. You got a little bakery here as well. Some nicer restaurants in here that you can walk to, you can come to each night, have some different variety. Okay, so we're driving into the main street of Jaco, this little town. Probably has less than 10,000 people in it, so it's not an enormous town, but it's definitely got a lot of restaurants, bars, everything you could need, whether you want to live here or rent it out. So to my right, you have BAC. That's one of the main banks here in Costa Rica. So you can open an account with BAC. Easiest way to do that would be to get a company. You might have a company that owns the apartment that you're investing in, something like that, and then getting an account. It's not too hard. So you got back, you've also got BCR, you've got Banco National, Banco Popular here as well, but back, BCR and Banco National, those are your main ones. Most of the action in this town is going to happen right here on this main street. So you're only 1 block away from this. It's all within walking distance. So up here we have coffee, more restaurants, more bars. And we're going to take a left turn up here and I'll show you how to get back to Pacific Point. Bars, clubs, all of that. Mini massage parlors all around here. You kind of know what that is. It's not really real massages. There's Remax, the office. Okay, so 1 block away is Jaco Beach. Lots of little hotels here as well. So it's really a tourism town. If you wanted to own a hotel anywhere inside of Jaco, close to the beach, you should do pretty well with it. Except, of course, in the month of October, it's dead. We're now in late November at the time of filming this, and you can see there's not too many people around. So still, November is a little bit slow too, but things are starting to pick up. And December is going to get really busy. This is the beach of Jaco. I think that in 10 years from now, this will be completely different to what you see now. There is Pacific Point up in front of us. But I think as more of these kind of developments go up, this whole beachfront area, this will one day, 10, 15 years from now, be much more luxurious than what it is right now. Right now, it's a little bit, I don't want to say trashy, that would be the wrong word for it, but it's not like a luxurious kind of beach setting yet. But I think as there's more development going on, they're going to redo all these roads. I mean, they're just putting in a whole new roundabout here as well. So this will all be much nicer than what it is right now. I think the future looks very bright for this project. So let's talk about what your life might be like if you are living here. So the first thing is you're going to have nice restaurants, cafes, and bars well within walking distance. To get to that main street, that main strip full of all the restaurants and bars, it's maybe a 1-minute walk. Okay, it's literally the next block up. So you would have everything within walking distance. That's the good thing about living here. You would have this beach around January, February. This is going to get packed. There's going to be a lot of tourists here. They come here for just for the surfing, just to enjoy it. A lot of them come to Jaco for the nightlife. It's very much a party town. So if you're not really into that, you still might like it here, but just be prepared for that. Jaco is quite known for being a little bit of a nightlife kind of party town. And in all of Costa Rica, usually this is one of the first places that people will come because they're going to fly into San Jose and it's about a 90-minute drive to get here. This is one of the first beaches that you can get to from the big city. So a lot of people come here. The tourism market is very strong. That's a good thing if you are looking to buy a place, rent it out and earn an income. But it means it's very much a tourism town. Lots of different tourists here, lots of people from the USA. So if you were looking for a place that's a little bit more quieter, a little bit more away from it all, this might not be it. But if you want to be right in the center of all the action, this would be a good fit for you. All right, guys, so that concludes the tour of Pacific Point. If you want to know more about this project, get in touch with me. If you want help with moving to Costa Rica, you want to know about the pros and cons of living here, get in touch with me. I've actually lived in this country for a number of years. It's definitely got its challenges, but it's also got its own unique beauty and charm. So if you do want to know more about it, get in touch with me and I will be happy to help you out with your move. That's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.